Good morning, everyone. So, March 8th, it's International Women's Day, by the way, in case you didn't know. Day 8 of our meditation challenge. Trying to get it in. Hi, Kim. Trying to get it in early this morning, so we don't have to wait until the end of the day, which, seems more difficult, I think. Where are we going to pick it up today? Let's start the timer. Oh, it's 9:19. Thanks, universe, for that little... those are my number, 9:19. Well, 8:18, 9:19, 7:17, all of those are my numbers. So I'm always encouraged a little bit that there is some backup here on Earth, or at least that I can find some comfort in some level of backup. Anyway, okay, so the timer starts now. 15 minutes. So settle into your body as usual. Find a little scan. Connect with your breath. Just take a moment, soften the gaze, just kind of bring yourselves into yourself, right? Creating this little bubble almost, if you will, just for the time being, just for the moment. Dropping into yourself, just kind of checking in, noticing where you are. And in the last few days, we've done, I think, quite substantial digging, and we have introduced some good concepts. Yesterday we were talking about the blind spots and about hindsight. And and today I find myself depleted. I find myself emotionally drained, tired, just generally not having a mental fortitude to look at and engage, or not even engage, but to just do the work, right? And then so today is about what do we do when we can't do the work, even though we need to do the work, but you can do the work 24/7, even though you kind of are, but I think this is part of the process of taking a moment to just recognize where you're at and that you may need a break, right? So I need a break. I feel, and it'll be interesting for you to just simply witness where you land, right? Because you may be fine doing some more witnessing or observing of the specific, or you may not, right? And I think it's what is interesting about this particular part or topic is that you have to be able to recognize when you need to pause, when you need to just lay down on the floor and cry, or rest in some capacity. And that doesn't mean that your rest is going to be rejuvenating, right? It doesn't mean that you're going to get yourself in the hot bath, and maybe you will with some candles, but maybe that is not what it's going to look like. Maybe you will have enough strength to just grab a pillow and lay on the floor and then just breathe. Noticing where you find yourself in a dysregulated state, because not all states are conducive for doing the work, but that doesn't mean that there's not a value in meditation, right? You can still take a moment and meditate, even if it's just thinking about or witnessing again, and then maybe even accepting. And this kind of goes back a little bit to the one of the previous day when we were accepting ourselves exactly where we are in the relationship to the thing that we're looking at. But now we're accepting ourselves exactly as we are in the present moment, recognizing that the capacity to be doing anything is just not there. That's what came up for me. I had a challenging evening. Hi, Peppy. Emotionally last night for a variety of reasons. I have an 11-year-old son. I got completely triggered by him, and I went to. Hi, Boo. Hi, Booby. Thank you. It's funny how the dogs are so attuned to some of these states. Little dog love, never hurt anybody. Don't go in front of my camera though, thank you. Just stay right there. Do not go in front of my camera, thank you. So I have an 11-year-old, and he's been a little bit of a challenge. Well, he hasn't, but I didn't have a mental capacity to stay in a grounded place or stay in a balanced place. And then so I just kind of lost it. Not on him, even though partially on him, but just in general, because everything that I am looking at is really difficult for me. And then so I've noticed that I am just dysregulated, right? And then I just kind of, had a little breakdown, and then I was wondering how that all plays into the process of healing something or recovering from something, right? How does that play into the process? How can we use that specifically to make that part of the process? Or maybe better, how can we accept that again, present moment, like how can we accept that that's where we are in the moment, and that maybe maybe we can get ourselves out of it immediately. Maybe we just kind of have to plop there for some time. And I'm obviously not being supportive of drowning in your own stuff and throwing yourself a pity party, but there is, as always, it's balance. Everything is a balance. Like everything has its purpose, and when it's too much, then it's too much, right? But when you also don't allow that to happen, then that's also not good, right? So again, where's the balance? Where's the balance in allowing yourself to just give in, right? For how long? And then how do you get out, right? How do you ride that wave of you can't? How do you make it acceptable? How do you make it manageable? And to an extent, how do you make it productive? Because I think the mindset of that that is not okay at all, is not helpful. It's kind of like you running on an injury, right? You have an injury and you're like, well, I'm just going to power through it and it will eventually go away. And then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then at some point you can't run at all. So that's kind of the analogy that I'm trying to make here. Can we nurse that little injury to a better state, so then when you train, right, then you can actually train effectively instead of ignoring that injury and then making it worse in the long run? So that's what I am thinking about today. That's where I am at today. I am nursing my injuries, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. It is, and I don't know if I'm riding the wave of the full moon still from yesterday, or whether everything just caught up with me, or whether, it could be a variety of things, probably a combination of things. But I am personally today in no space to do any work. Like, I am just not. And that's okay. And that's okay. Again, I think that's part of the process. Part of the process is to lick your wounds a little bit, right, at a time, to nurse your injuries, and just kind of wait it out, right? And notice how uncomfortable that place is, because we want to problem solve, almost always. I want to problem solve anyway. I want to have that conversation. I want to get it out. Like, I want to sort through it. I want to keep looking. I want to have a realization so I can digest and process and move on. But that's just not always how it works. And that's not how it's working today. And it'll be interesting to see where I show up tomorrow, and I think giving yourself the grace to, and it doesn't even have anything to do with being your best, right? Because the way that I feel about this is this is my best. This is literally my best right now. It was my best last night, right? It was not pretty. But that's all I had, right? That's all I had in me. And it can be very discouraging. It is for me. It's very discouraging, because I feel like I'm possibly not making any headways, right? I'm not getting anywhere. It's like a step back, or maybe even 5 steps back. And but is it really, right? Like, is it really? If we, again, and this is the core of meditation practice, allowing yourself to be wherever you are in that moment, right? So allowing myself to be in that place of and it's not even discomfort, because it's just something completely different. It's just energetically, there's no capacity, for any problem solving. It feels, and for me, I would really love to hear some of your feedbacks, like specifically as far as like, what do you feel, if what I'm saying makes any sense to you. But like, this is not even survival mode. This is like from one breath to another, from 1 minute to the next, from what is the thing that I need to do, like get into the car, drive to wherever you need to go, do whatever it is that you need to do. And those are things that absolutely need to happen, because if they don't need to happen, then they're not happening, right? Unless like you're absolutely obligated in some capacity to do those things, like for example driving your child to school, right? That's not for you. You don't really have a choice in the matter. You get into the car, you pick up the kid, you drop them off in school, and you drive back point A to point B, immediately in front of you. What's next? Well, maybe next you're gonna sit down on the floor and breathe, right? And then maybe you're gonna have to eat, right? And then maybe you're gonna have to take a shower. So maybe it is survival in some way, but it's like, yeah, I would love some feedback on how you guys see that, and how you guys feel about that. But that's kind of it's almost like a whole day kind of a meditation, because there's literally no capacity for any cognitive function, any processing function. Obviously, you're thinking, oh, I need to get into the car and then I need to get from point A to point B, right? That is a cognitive function. But it has nothing to do with what we're doing, right? And that's 15 minutes, just like that. So just to wrap that up, where are you today? Where are you today? Is there emotional capacity for anything? And if not, can we accept and can we allow ourselves to be in a space where we do not have anything, where we are just simply going through the notion of the present moment, right? There is, yeah, I don't know if I have a better way to put this, but that's what showed up today. That's where I am today. For me personally, it's an extremely tough place to be. At the same time, I'm gonna wrap up at this. At the same time, it's also kind of below the pain point. It's below the emotional pain point, and maybe there's some. I don't feel that the rock bottom term is appropriate for this, because I feel the rock bottom term is the pain point. Like, when are you in emotional pain? When are you in fight, flight, freeze, foe? When you're completely dysregulated, when you're in emotional body, pain body, as Eckhart Tolle likes to call it, when you're in pain body, that's rock bottom for that moment or for that situation, right? That is a rock bottom. When you can get yourself out, when you can't witness yourself out of it, when you are where you are in the cycle of pain. And this is past that, right? This particular, it's almost like a numbness. It is almost like resignation, it's like there is actually some comfort in that. There is a certain level of dissociation from your pain. But there is also exhaustion, and there's also just, kind of nothingness. Okay, so that's where I leave it, running past 15 minutes. I would love to know, where does that hit you? How do you resonate with that? What does that feel like for you? Let me know. I would like to know. And then, so this is day 8 of our March 8th, day 8 of our March meditation challenge. Thank you so much for tuning in, because clearly I need this. I need this. It is really helping. I actually go back and do the meditation myself after it's done. I sit and just listen and think, in quiet and in peace, outside of just talking. So thank you again. I will see you tomorrow. Let me know where you at. Let me know how it goes. Keep up the good fight. Try to find some acceptance for wherever you find yourself in today, in the moment, in the breath. Thank you. I will see you all tomorrow. From my heart to yours, always. Namaste. Bye.